Okay fucking dokie. That was, this is video 10. Yep, this is 10. $2.21 from UndeadEggmiester. Question 1, if you were a cookies, what cookie would you be? Question 2, what Ninja Turtle is your favorite? I would be a withered, crispy husk baked by that one mom who has tried to bake her entire life, just like her mom. Only she just can't get the mix of the temperature right. As for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this ended up being a two-way tie for me throughout my childhood. I really liked Mikey's playfulness, but I liked Don's cleverness. Weapon-wise, nunchucks are cool, but as I got older, I gained more of an appreciation for a bow. Besides, I like the color purple, so today I'd pick Donatello. Though I remember Jeff telling me a few times that I should be Raphael because of how moody I am. Entry 222 comes from butterknifeking, who writes, 1. As a kid, were you more of a Sega person or a Nintendo person? 2. What is your favorite RTS game? Nintendo. Super Nintendo was a superior system, both in its hardware and its selection of games. That being said, the Genesis had a few things going for it, and I liked it too. As for my favorite real-time strategy game, no question, StarCraft. But Dungeon Defenders is steadily creeping up that list. Yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah, it's a real-time. Yeah, why not? Yeah, there are elements of real-time. Yeah, clearly real-time. Entry 223 from KilgoreKarabekian, who writes, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite band? These are both repeat questions. To reiterate, I'd go with 1984 as my overall favorite book. For favorite band, I'm pretty sure I waved this one off by saying I'm simply too mercurial. I've bought more songs than I've bought games. My tastes span a wide variety of artists and genres, and I've never found an entire album, not even a compilation one, which makes me go, fuck, this shit is awesome! At gunpoint, I'd say Queen. But Metallica would be knocking on my door and say, yeah, ooh yeah, the fuck dude, we're your mom's favorite band, yeah. You've listened to us since before you can remember, listen to us, yeah. And I go, look guys, my mom might be all gung-ho for load and reload, but I'm not. And they'd say, there are entire Queen albums you never even listened to, but you heard all of ours, yeah. And then we get into it, and they'd show me a picture of my mom, and I fucking caved. Then 5 minutes later, I get another knock on my door. It'd be Queen with a disembodied Freddie Mercury just staring at me. And I never get anywhere, because I'd feel as if I failed Brian May, my absolute most favorite guitarist ever, so then I'd have to kill myself. And this is why I can't pick favorites. I'm too melodramatic. 224 comes from Ryan Applegong, who writes, hi Grimith, have you backed any Kickstarter projects lately? If yes, what projects are you supporting? Lately, I'd say no. I only ever backed one, and that was a failed project for a tabletop game, Malcasvia, started earlier this year. Watch code Xeno. Entry 225 comes from Zachary Roy, who writes, what hardware do you use to play your games? What recorder do you use to record your videos? This question has definitely come up much earlier. I guess I'm feeling benevolent. I record everything on a personal computer. My current device is one I purchased earlier this year. Some people, like Lethal Feline and Revocame, they have a capture card, and I would recommend looking into such a device for anyone considering this hobby and thinking about a computer upgrade. Like, they think they need to do that. You don't. You might not realize at first how computer-intensive the act of recording and later encoding can be on your computer, but you don't need a gaming rig for that. I mean, hell, a gaming rig doesn't exactly even work because you need a machine that can handle both the stress of gameplay and the stress of capturing that gameplay. You know, my Asus, that was a gaming computer, but I didn't exactly have it for recording whenever I first started this hobby. The Vista desktop I had to use temporarily wasn't. The laptop that I had for about a year and a few months that I got from Tiny Shopkeeper, I definitely say that was a gaming laptop. It was an Alienware. and it definitely had some specs on it, but it was old, and again, not for recording. This is the first computer that I got that is definitely not just a gaming rig, but can also handle the stress of capturing that. It's so overpowered. A capture card, though, can save you from that aspect, because it'll handle the process of recording and encoding by itself. I wanted a computer upgrade anyway, and it's like the first computer I bought in several years, and fuck you. I just got something powerful enough to do everything I wanted, but it's not needed. That's why I won't give you any specs. They're just good enough for me to live broadcast playing the most graphically intense games in the market while simultaneously recording them. My internet couldn't handle it, but the computer can. As for recording software, I switched from Camtasia Studio 8 to Bandicam earlier this year. Bandicam is easy to operate, flexible to user needs, and reliable. It's not free, but it's cheap, in my opinion. There are definitely free alternatives, but I have enough money to look for convenience of use. Sometimes, like when I live stream, and like now, I use Open Broadcaster software. OBS is free, and it's also simple to use. 226 from 3Dog43. Have you ever played any hex and counter war games, physical not computer, such as the Avalon Hill classics or stuff by SPI or East Front or Victory Games of Civil War? So what were they? Yeah. There's been several over the years, but the only one I could recall when I first saw this question, the one I can still recall, is Heroescape. My brother has a lot of map tiles and pieces from that. And we played it together before, along with some friends. I seriously can't remember any of the other miniature games I've played on an actual tabletop, though. I have played some other tabletop games. Even like an online type conversion, like BattleTech. But I guess none of them really left an imprint on me. Entry 227 comes from Ren Mcree, who asks, "What is your biggest fear? Now, have you ever loved anyone? If so, who? If not, why?" Kinda personal, but see, you said any question. My biggest fear? You think I've lived for thousands of years by telling people my weaknesses? I'm serious. Not about the thousands of years part, although that's a running gag of some viewers. Or about the whole idea of not giving people that which can destroy you. Because that's what fears do. Admitting that I have acrophobia, which I do, or saying that I fear losing self-control, which I have already in response to an earlier question, is already enough information that can be used to fracture my considerable willpower. I can't give my enemies any more ammunition. As for the second question, yeah, sure, that's easy, yeah. But I'm not going to give an allowance for this particular compound question here. Have you ever loved anyone? If so, who? If not, why? Like, you design a run-on sentence, that means it's only one question, right? Nope. Sounds like a personal problem. If only all 400 plus of these sons of bitches were that quick, right? 228 is brought to us by Alpha Arbar, who writes, "Are you a part of the planet's 10% of people who are left-handed? Did you like my questions?" Nope. Yup. 229 comes from Mage Prince 93, who writes, "Was it hard getting started as a Let's Get On With It YouTuber? And my birthday is the 24th. Will you sing me happy birthday, lol?" Smiley face. I don't think it was hard. We'd have to pull past Grimith on that one, but I think I managed. As for singing you a happy birthday, I'm actually not one for birthdays, either other people's or mine. I usually go dead silent for mine. Phone goes off. I seldom talk to anyone who knows. This year I skipped work and went on a 9-mile walk out of the suburbs and into the city. Got a haircut, visited the mall, and I still ran into an uncle of mine. Oh man, we're making great time. Just wanted to check to make sure I was actually broadcasting this. Alright, well, broadcasting into a recording. I bit the bullet and stopped for a while to visit my sister-in-law, if only because I knew I'd see her in a few days anyway. And I get the whole birthday crap there. And I treat people how I want to be treated on this subject, so while I'm great at memorizing dates, I don't make a production out of it. Birthdays are a solemn time for me. When I pull up a notepad and type, "How am I still alive after all these years?" and struggle to find an answer. In short, no singing. The 230 entry comes from Zylo587, who asks, 1. What is your favorite game based around a historical period or event? 2. Would an army of ninja babies constitute infantry? I still smiled at that. Age of Empires? Does that count? Probably not, huh? Pirate's Gold? Does that count? I think it does. We'll go with that. And your second question completely blindsided me when I first read it, and I giggled pretty hard. Good job. You get a, You get this. You get this. My other lamp is not on in my room, so you get to enjoy some minor darkness. Yes, some minor darkness. I also have my glasses off. Hello, everyone. I'm not showing you my face the entire time. I don't have enough energy for you. I don't have enough energy for me. Besides, you need to see Birthday Grimith. Yes, you do. Entry 231 comes from AMR Storm 81, who writes, "What is your all-time favorite tabletop RPG? And 2, what game, video or board game, pisses you off the most?" The first question already got answered. Recycled bacon, everyone. Regarding your second, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound weird because of how much I complain, but I really try to stay away from, and thus don't keep track of, any game I think that will make me angry. I'm already a wrathful individual. I imagine the game that pisses me off the most is not Civilization 5, but a game I've never even played. One that I looked at, saw screenshots of, read descriptions about, and forgot in order to protect myself from fuck snapping. That's definitely something I do. Entry 232 comes from Drums and Games 2112. 1, what are your thoughts on Total War Rome 2? And 2, will the air condition? Co-commentary again. I haven't bothered to see or read much about Total War Rome 2. I have a sharp negative bias against the Sega brand these days, and I have little interest in purchasing anything the developer publish, and, well, the creative assembly is owned by Sega, so there you go. I think I could get $29.97. That was a 50% price discount offered on the Steam Autumn sale from the game, but my stance here is the same as how I feel about purchasing anything more for Civilization 5. Until my attitude changes, I will not spend another penny. And I don't think you have to worry about my air condition / heater. It will do what it wants, when it wants. I'm sure you haven't heard the last of it, unless you've heard the last of me. Entry 233 is brought to us by Manly McBeefington, who asks, 1, if you had an alcoholic drink named after you, what would you want it to consist of? And 2, if YouTube fails or falls, what other video site would you go to? Considering my attitude towards drunkenness and alcohol in general, an alcoholic drink seriously named after me wouldn't actually contain alcohol. On the rare occasions I imbibe alcohol, I like it in fruity drink, stuff that'll taste good. I'm a gourmand. The taste quality of anything I consume is a big fucking deal, so you'd have to have something sweet. As for your second question, who knows? Should I ever find YouTube unpalatable, or should the site no longer exist for whatever reason, I will consider the hypothetical options existing at that time, not before. I'm not very fond of hypothetical questions, am I? 234 from Sphinx Smith. Have you ever heard of ASMR? And 2, what is your preferred way to consume bacon? Nope. And I'm not even going to search engine it to see if the acronym actually stands for something I might know. Regarding bacon, well, I put it on the skillet, and I fry it, then I put it in my mouth, and I went. The end. Question 235 comes from John Doe, who asks, how would you describe the alignment of your political philosophy? 2, does SKS hate progressive rock and progressive metal? I think the political alignment, political spectrum, and political compass questions have already been answered. Regarding your second, I see what you're trying to do, but that's a question you'd want to ask SKS, not me. You get not applicable, bacon. 236 comes from Shay Roro, who writes, hey Grimgrams, first question, as a consumer living in America, do you personally look at where and how your food is produced, i.e. factory farming, genetic modification, and the low standards of living for bacon? Second question, in a word, sum up this year's Ask Question, Receive Bacon. With some food, I do. I try to purchase local produce and beverages. Brand familiarity is important, and there are names I trust through my personal experiences and others. But I definitely don't break down everything. Like the life history of chicken nuggets I just purchased from a quick-serve restaurant. I eat food I consider to be both high quality, and a train is approaching, and low quality, and I depend to some extent on human trust, the same idea which involves itself in everything I do. After all, I'm part of a consumer-based global economy. It's not as easy to complain about poor service nowadays unless you restrict your intake to what's around you. This year's Q&A in one word? Exhausting. Entry 237 is brought to us by AbleKnight64, who writes, "Is there any LGWI that you regretted playing or got tired of doing midway besides Star Zoo? And 2, pancakes versus waffles?" The first question has been answered, so I'll drag that one back up, tight as steel. I will say, though, that I don't regret Star Zoo. I enjoyed Star Zoo for all of its flaws. I certainly wouldn't have gone back and played it and recorded myself doing so as many times as I have if I didn't derive pleasure from the experience. And pancakes would win because the waffle's already been weakened by the process which made it a waffle. Pancakes are fuller and thicker, so they've got more substance in a fight. True story. Entry 238 comes from Daniel Westberg, who writes, "First of all, I think you're awesome sauce, no homo. My questions are as follows. What are your thoughts on communism? What do you think of us crazy Swedish people? I'm not English, so if my spelling is off, I can't be blamed. Kind regards, a crazy communist Swede." My opinions cannot help but be biased by the culture and society in which I live. The United States fosters strong anti-communist resentment, and everything it did to safeguard the country and its children during the Cold War still echoes today. Combine that with my historian approach towards life, and I don't have a positive opinion of communism as an effective form of government. Certainly, there are many different communist theories, and they have been applied in a variety of fashions with their own success levels, but by and large, I see communism as a foolish, unpractical idea. That being said, I'm no political or social theorist, and I freely acknowledge that many forms of government have been derided throughout history. One need no look further than the experiment conducted by the nascent United States of America. As for Swedish people, I'm apathetic. Swedes don't make much of an impact on my life, and I don't make much of an impact on theirs, so they don't matter to me, and I expect the same from them. From you! Question 239, or rather entry 239, comes from Leo Vallo, I don't know, who writes, 1. You occasionally mention your Cherokee heritage. What importance does it have for you? 2. In that case, you know / speak any Cherokee. I associate minimal value with my Cherokee heritage, but the same is true of my French heritage and of the Irish, which might actually even be Scottish. The maternal records are incomplete, no one's actually sure. Even my predominant Germanic heritage doesn't get much more consideration. I see little point in taking pride in such things. I acknowledge the heritages that came before me, but I'm not a part of any of those cultures. It's not like I have my paternal coat of arms hanging in my bedroom. And no, I'm not fluent in Cherokee, and I couldn't construct a Cherokee sentence if my life depended on it. Furthermore, I don't even know anyone in my life who speaks Cherokee, and I work at a fucking museum. I had 2 acquaintances throughout middle school who were full-blooded Cherokee, and they weren't even fluent in the language, so if I wanted to learn it, I'm not sure off the top of my head who the best person or group would be for me. And, finally, this one actually came late, after the deadline. So I got some substitute bacon. A bacon-like substance for the Grieber Commander. What is your favorite / best Let's Get On With It game / game experience that you have played on your channel? What is your least favorite / most horrible Let's Get On With It game / game experience that you have played on your channel? And those are both questions I have already answered. Sweet. No effort answer. I'm fucking done. Fucking done. We're fucking done. We're done. Whew. Checking the tally here, selecting all of the 9 previous video files. We've got 8 hours, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds. So, you combine that with the sort of video that I scrapped partway through. Which wasn't very long. I just got interrupted, and now this. I've definitely been doing this for 9 straight hours. 9. I could have finished with this much sooner, of course, had I elected to just do the questions straight up, as I have done the past 2 years. But there were so many questions, and Dungeon Defenders is a nice enough game that I figured, what the hell, I'd combine the 2 together. And that would be why my throat's more worn out, and why I am tireder than usual. You know, the recommendation is that you don't remain fucking sitting in one place for fucking 9 hours. There you go. As a review, now that I don't have to worry about this anymore, I'll have a lot more time and flexibility to, I wasn't worried about it anyway, I refuse to allow myself to play Thief Gold, or, System Shock 2 until I got this done. And now I've got some more free time, particularly as other things have fallen in my life, which I won't provide an explanation for because those might be potential spumblers, which itself might have been a spumbler. So yeah, I'll be able to do that. I've of course got my my regular gaming with Lethal Feline. Coming up this Wednesday, we actually have a game that we're going to be playing from my Rewarding the Rewarders list, which means I'm going to be the one who actually records it for the first time that we've been together. He's been the one who's done all this stuff, but with a quick enough internet connection now that I could stream stuff to him, we'll be good to go. And that'll be something that's interesting. You know, it's something that apparently he has some experience playing, and it's something that we look forward to. Obviously, I have some more super amazing Wagon Adventure to play at some point or another. Stream-wise, we've got a Civilization 4 game, a Civilization 5 game, and a King of Dragon Pass Chucklefucks game, which, you know, it's been some time, but fuck you. I do whatever the fuck I want. And, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed all the bacon I fried for you. Obviously, some of you will like it better than others. But 240 entrants, over 400 questions, and I decided to play a game at the same time. Even a relatively non-distracting situation like that, obviously that was pretty stressful. What the fuck is that? Was there something wrong with the shirt when I got it washed? I'm having a weird epiphany here. I guess I haven't worn this shirt in several months. Maybe a year. When was the last time I wore you? Had a residue there that apparently got on my shoulders. Might have been dirt or dust or something that accumulated in there. You know, stuff like that. It was just weird. Bonus footage with Grimith! Oh, man. So yeah, obviously the monitor could be down lower so that you guys could see more of me in action, or I could not fucking slouch in my chair. So, what's happening next? Well, there's going to be a shower involved. There's going to be food involved. Copious amounts of liquid refreshments. I'm not sure what I'll eat. There's still some chili in the refrigerator. It should still be good. Unless someone froze it this morning. Or this afternoon. I have been busy for a long time without any input of what happened in the house. That's not good. I've missed out on some National Football League. But you know, Gamecocks handily defeated Clemson, forcing 6 turnovers, and I'm alright. Missouri could have lost. I could be better, but I'm doing well. Except for this residue. That's okay, I'll just go shirtless. I mean, I'm gonna go to the shower. Anyway, I don't fucking wear this shirt. I'll have to analyze the situation. Might have to check on that spider that I might have theoretically attempted to kill at the same time, twice. It's gonna be a good evening for me. And I'll have to start uploading all this shit. I'm sure that there's going to be at least one dislike, if not multiple dislikes. It's gonna amuse me. It's like, oh, like, I don't... Let's think of a way to phrase what you actually mean. You know, like how you actually feel. Disliking thing is pretty fucking obvious. I don't have a problem with the dislikes. I would just be interested in knowing, you know, the person's or people's trains of thoughts behind it. Especially on, I just find curious the situation like, yeah, all the tabletop videos obviously get one dislike each from one particular disgruntled person or like a handoff of people. You know, that's fine. That those only appeal to a small section of my viewers. The Q&A announcement video got a single dislike. I'm finding that, you know, my non-gameplay videos get dislikes. So I'm expecting all of these, like, answer question videos to get dislikes, and, you know, whenever that happens, that makes me, it almost gives me the impression that a viewer interactivity is horrible. Like, boo, we dislike viewer interactivity, this is dumb. Because there's zero context for why a particular person dislikes it. I don't have a problem with people disliking what I do. I don't have a problem with people, like, providing criticism for why they dislike what I do. It's just the situation, though, I wonder, why do you spend your time on it? It just... I like so few things, but I'm certainly not going to go through everything I dislike and dislike it. I joke around sometimes. Maybe it's like this one guy who correctly assumes, I say correctly, you know, the interpretation of this is a good thing. You know, if you actually like something, it goes into a special playlist for you anyway, so I rarely like or favorite things myself. I find it funny. There are many other YouTube viewer quirks I find funny. Like, I just... You know, those would be things I'd be interested in knowing. You know, I think that was one of the Ask Question Receive Bacon entries. Things I would be interested in understanding. My viewers. Maybe I need to create a fucking list of questions for all of you assholes to answer. You can spend 9 fucking hours. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, boy. My eyes are sore from reading all that text. Oh, goodness. At least my fat ass has saved my lower extremities from going numb. Well, I think that's everything that I wanted to take care of, discuss. I have enjoyed this hobby for the past 3.5 years. I have enjoyed its occasion. Probably not 2 questions each next year. Very likely not 2 questions each next year. Wouldn't say mistakes were made, but I would definitely say you folks did a bad job of checking to see whether your question had already been asked. Bad job. Bad job. But I fucking expected it. Oh, man. You guys are so dumb. We got a lot left to look forward to on this Let's Get On With It adventure, barring collapse. Or, a sudden change on the whimsical fate of Grimith. So, you can look forward to that. Woo! And maybe look forward to more Dungeon Defenders in some form or fashion. I don't feel as if I can actually do like a fucking playlist or series on it, but, you know, it's a beloved, enjoyable game of mine. It obviously came into play, and I don't regret it, but I do recognize that I could have gotten through this quicker if I just focused on all of those questions. But then I wouldn't have had all of the moments of playing Dungeon Defenders. And that I think that helped me. Go to sleep. Ah, God damn it. Take care, everyone. Remember, campaign for me. I'm horrible at advertising myself, so you gotta help. Make a difference. Good night, everyone.